3, 2, 1, go. All right, welcome back for part 2. So let's go ahead and color this guy in, but let's light him first. Okay, so let's go to our view. So this is probably the position that we want to light him. So just make sure that you have everything saved. And let's add our first light. So first we want to change from matte cap to lit PBR. So we'll go to the sun and switch from matte cap to lit PBR. And here is my environment, which is available on my Gumroad. It's my Drug-Free Dave eye glare environment. But for now, we're just going to turn that off. So it should be completely black. It's a really great silhouette. So let's add our first light. Love the way this looks. And also let's change everything to a more neutral color first, just for lighting purposes. So I'm just going to select everything. Except for the cameras. And I'm just going to change it to a more neutral color. So you tap the little color wheel here, and you can use any sort of like grayish color. Maybe I should choose a different color than I always do. Let's go with my terracotta type color. So you can do this, or you can do some sort of gray, or somewhere in between. Okay, so we'll do, no, I like the other color better. I like this better. It's my favorite color. All right, so this looks pretty good. So now that we added our first light, let's just go back to the lights and let's turn this up to 2. All right, that looks pretty good. And the reason why I position it first, because I really like where this light goes just by default. And I usually place the light just so I kind of know where the lights are and what they're doing. Even though it doesn't matter the position of this light, it just makes sense to me. So this one is going to be the key. The next one's going to be the rim light on the opposite side. So we can just clone it, and then we can, I hate when that happens, as you can tell. And we can just move the cloned light. So this is going to be the rim. So we'll turn this light around if it'll allow me to. There we go. And we just want to get a nice edge on him. That looks pretty good. Maybe something like this. So just play around with it until you get a nice edge on one side. It's kind of nice because I like it when it gets a little bit on the eye as well. So I think that looks really good. So that's the key. Now the next light, maybe we'll have something. I usually put another rim light on the other side nowadays. So let's clone this again, and we'll bring this one over here. And then we'll just switch it. Not quite a rim light, so there's a little bit more showing, and I'm going to turn this one down a little bit. So maybe something like this. And last but not least, I'll put another light around here, kind of facing down on his face. So let's add a light. Let's make this one a spotlight. We'll move this up, out. There we go. So this is like a face highlighter. I don't want it too bright. I think that's pretty good. Let's go back to our view. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now let's turn on post-process and just double check our lights. So of course you can go through and adjust your settings. You can save your settings as well. I'm just gonna put on my DFD2 preset, and I'll just show you what that looks like. I'll turn this up so you can see it all the way. And here's just so you can see my settings. Let's decimate the body. That way, when we add the paint and we want to smooth it, it'll smooth much better. So right now the body is 107K. Let's decimate that. So we'll go here, miscellaneous. We'll decimate it twice. I think it should be good. Let's just check out the mesh. Still looks okay. Let's add the environment back. I'm going to turn it down a little bit, but I actually like it kind of bright. And let's see what this looks like with subsurface. We'll turn the subsurface down to like 0.12 or so. Let's just grab all of the hair and make that subsurface as well. The hair can be nice and see-through. Let's take the tooth and make it subsurface. And we can make all these little extras subsurface if you want. Okay, so let's export this as well. I think it's really important to export different stages. So now we can go ahead and color him. So first we'll do the body. Let's add a layer, and this will be purple. Because it looks like his base color is purple to me. So we'll go to the color wheel and go to purple. I think something like this. Roughness. Maybe around there. Let's take a look. I mean, it feels right. I'm going to move my reference. Shout out to Character Cube. We'll move it there. It's actually a pretty good match, but I think we can go a little bit darker. A little bit more purple. Maybe we'll up the roughness a little bit. Just a little bit of shine on it. I think that works. Let's do all the hairs. We'll color them the same color for now. Let's color these little rocks. Maybe we want them sort of grayish, maybe cool gray. The eyes they're a little bit grayish, but maybe we'll make them white and glossy. And let's take the eyes and just join them together. The pupils they almost look like they're a really deep purple. Purpley black. Oh, but I guess I should do glossy, huh? And the tooth will go with just white as well. So now let's do some shading. So the body has the purple part. The base is just no color. We'll add another one, and this will be pink. Pink 1. So his whole body is sort of a shade of pink. Let's grab the color of this so we can match the roughness. And then let's look for the pink. Yeah, that's it right there. So we'll take the paintbrush, and it looks like it's all up here throughout the body and on the legs. Now let's take Smoothie Poo, which is just the smooth tool with 0 intensity. And we can smooth this out. It should smooth okay. We'll smooth it out on the body as well. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Also, these pupils they look like X's. So I might have to change them to X's. Pivot, center, pivot. I'm just making them all a bit smaller. feels like a very bright character, so I'm going to turn this light up. Do I need a little pink on the hair, or does that look okay? I'm going to join the hair. Oh, the hair needs to be decimated. Let's decimate this hair. Okay, and I'm going to smooth it out a little bit. There's a pink stripe, but it looks like it's only across the body. So let's take select mask with rectangle. So we'll select mask as much as we can. We want to try to just get the body. Maybe we'll just use lasso. Okay. Ooh, let's turn all this stuff off. Post-process off. We'll turn quality down. Okay, I want to make sure I get up here because he has a stripe right underneath his armpits. So now I'm just going to invert this. So I'll invert the mask so only the body is showing. I want to add a new layer. And this will be pink stripes. And then we'll take this color and just make it brighter pink. Oh, I must have, you know what? I'm just going to move this. I forgot when you hit the video, the reference goes back to wherever it was. So it looks like a more, it's a very light pink. Maybe something like that is the best I can do. So now we'll just take paint, and we can, and actually we already used the mask, so we won't use the mask again. So now we'll just make our 2 pink stripes. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear this mask. Excuse my stomach. Yeah, it does spread a lot. It does spread a little more than I would have wanted, but let's see if we can just erase it around the middle. I feel like that might actually work to just leave it. Okay, looks pretty good. So now I like to add a little more, just some interesting details to it. Like maybe on the palms. I'm just going to name this one Details. Make a new layer named Details. Now let's color the inside of the mouth a little bit. So I'm going to grab the color of whatever that is, turn the roughness up, and then just make it darker. Maybe even a little darker red. And maybe I'll use, this might be a good time to use dynamic topology. Let's just see. Just for the outline. And turn it off now, because we only need it for the outline. I might even go a little bit darker with more roughness, just for the very back. Might even smooth this a little bit. Oop. Don't want to be smoothing with dynamic topology on. Okay, that looks good. I like this, but I'm going to add a new layer. And I want to put some around the eyes. So I want to take, now he has kind of like a two-tone. So I'll take sort of in the middle. I'll make it darker. we're on a new layer, so we have some flexibility. I'm going to turn dynamic topology off there so I don't accidentally use it again. And I think I just want to add a little bit of darkness around the eyes. I probably should turn symmetry off, because we didn't use symmetry for the... This can go even darker, actually. Okay, so let's see. Subtle, but I like it. So this is almost like post-processing, but just doing it on the artwork itself. The eyes, we might be able to decimate once and have them still look sufficiently round. And we'll add a layer, and we just want like maybe a grayish color, and I want to do the same thing. Symmetry is bonkers on these things. Look at this symmetry. This is ridiculous. Let's erase this. And then we'll go ahead and smoothie poo all of this so we just have a nice gradient. Okay, that looks good. Now it's a little dark, so I'm just going to lighten it up a little bit. Let's add another layer now. I'm going to do a quick save. And here's an easy way to add some extra details. If you use the stamp brush here, so if we use the stamp, let's go into the alpha. And right now I have the white box, as you can see, but the scale, see how I have the scale all the way up so that the red line is complete circle. That's what we want. And the stroke, lock radius. Let's actually turn it back on. So if you don't have it on, just go into dynamic topology and turn it on. Let's change the color. Let's grab the color of this, or maybe even the pink. So now we're using stamp. Let's go in close, make sure that it's pretty small. And you can add some little fun little details. Add some over here as well. And sometimes it's good to check. If you turn off subsurface, you can see the paint a little bit better. So it's a good way to kind of check. Just check your paint and make sure that everything is smooth and that there's no weird spots. Okay, so I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to turn this back on, and I'll turn post-process on. Whenever I think the shadows look a little dark, go to post-process and adjust the ambient occlusion. You might have to bring the curvature up. That's going to take away some of that shadow. You can bring the overall strength down a little bit. He's a very bright character, so I don't think he needs too much shadow. Well, there you go. I'm very happy with this little guy. Let's change the background. Do we want to go for a white background? Here he is with a white background. I usually don't use white though. Maybe I'll do... Anyway, I can... This will take me forever trying to find a color. I'm so bad at finding colors. One other thing, you can tie in whatever color you choose. Sometimes it's good to take, let's say rim 2, this light, and you can sort of match that color. Sometimes that helps tie things in together. Maybe even the regular rim. Let's see what that looks like if we adjust the color a bit. And it really sort of ties everything into the background. Just making sure everything is hunky-dory. You can go here. And we'll just export screen. And we'll export this. And that's about it. And here is the final. So I'm gonna, of course, bring this over into Blender. I'll show you that final as well. Keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. And shout out to Character Cube. Love those characters. Make sure you go and add him on Instagram.